So earlier today, I was requested to help a fellow player maximize his stats. And he has pretty good stats for how he plays. So, but in looking at the report for his stats, I noticed that there were a couple areas where he could improve his stats by simply ensuring that he was focusing solely on the stats of the troops that he's actually using. So, given that he and myself are both distance players, the first place that I directed him to is in here into guard weapons. Earlier when I did this video in a different language, I couldn't show this, but here we can come in and we can create our guard weapons based on maximizing the efficiency of our troops. So in order to do that, I tend to always upgrade my top 3 stats first and then my strongest type troop. So in my case, I like distance. I use distance and infantry all the time, so distance is my second focus. And then my third focus becomes infantry, so I'm preparing my infantry guard weapons to be upgraded into R5 once I get scrolls. I don't have them at the moment, so. But also within this window, we have our honing and enhancing of our guard weapons. So again, these stats that we gain in here from honing, we want to keep building on our strongest troop stats. So if you're a cavalry player, load these up with cavalry attack and cavalry health. But if you're a distance player or you're using some combination of either infantry and cavalry or infantry and distance, you might want to be looking at some of the infantry stats too. So in my case, I focus in here on distance attack, distance health, which are the 2 stats predominantly used within attacking. Troop attack, troop health, and then infantry defense and infantry health. Because my infantry troops, I don't generally really think that they're doing much attacking. They're really just absorbing damage to give my distance troops time to survive and kill whatever the march is that I'm fighting against. So those are the 6 stats that I will focus on in here in order to improve my own stats. So again, depending on what you are actually using to be your strongest troop type, whether it's cavalry or distance, you want to be focusing these honings and then enhancing those stats from within here, and just in order to maximize the stats of those strong troops. So because I still have a blue one in here, I'll just come in and enhance this, but I'm not accepting anything in this window unless by some miracle they all turn up purple with my stats. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. On a weekend when there's a spend gold event, I will come in here and I will lock these 2 stats and I will spend 2k gold at a time until I get that last one to a purple stat of the type that I want to have in here. So if this comes up as a purple infantry defense or an infantry health, I'm in. Same for troop attack, troop health, distance attack, distance health. Any of those 6 things come up in purple and I will accept it. Otherwise, I'll just keep rolling until I get one. And I do it during that event because, it's giving you some rewards for spending your gold. So, great time to do it. Otherwise, I just come in here, do my daily 5, and then I will enhance. So currently I'm working predominantly on this one to get it to max. So we'll come in and we'll enhance. I am always trying to come out of this with a positive result. So this one I will accept. This one I'll accept. That one, it too. This one, sure. That one, not happening. Because my combined advance is not a positive value. This just helps us to squeeze more and more and more out of our stats because it's interlocked with everything else. So we put our equipment on, we've maximized it, we can't get it any higher. We can come in here and we can still pull stats from our guard weapons without having to have newer guard weapons. The other area that I was going to address in here is within the research, and mine's a little behind because I took a bit of a break. But Combat 2, in my view, is infinitely better than Combat 1 because you get more back from the research for what you put in. So in here I'll get 7% from this research. I do put some resources into it and some time, but I get 7% for my 18 hours versus if I come back over and I go into Combat 1, and we go to a defense that isn't done here, I'm going to get 2% for 6 hours. So even if you add 3 of them together, I'm still coming out ahead. And when I'm squeezing stats, the things that I can do faster, I'm going to do first. The other research tree in here that is really important in battles recently is in this Kingsley. No, it isn't. I did this last time too. The off language is kind of challenging. In this tree over here, these researches do things that work to improve your outcomes versus troops that your strong troop is actually weak against. So in my case, my strong troop is distance, but it's weak against cavalry. So I can come in here and I can tip the balance a little bit of how well I defend or I attack against cavalry based on these little tiny percentages of differences between damage stats. This plays directly into some of the new troop skills that have been added to troops. So this is another area where you can put some focus into your research and you can give yourself some advantages that aren't really overwhelming, and yet when it comes to damages they do seem to be rather overwhelming. So those are my 2 recommendations currently for this particular situation. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll come and watch another video soon.